The Ohio State Buckeyes landed a massive recruit in the class of 2024. This is not just your ordinary 5-star recruit. Ohio State picked up 5-star receiver Jeremiah Smith, who was the highest rated prospect in the class of 2024. From the moment Jeremiah Smith committed to Ohio State on December 14th, 2022, to the time he signed with the Buckeyes on December 20th, 2023, the top-ranked wideout certainly took advantage of visiting some of the biggest programs in the country. Jeremiah Smith went on 14 visits to schools other than Ohio State after committing to the Buckeyes, including multiple trips to Florida, Florida State, and Miami, along with a visit to Georgia. But in the end, Jeremiah Smith kept his word and remained committed to Ohio State despite him being from the state of Florida. Jeremiah Smith is special because he is the highest rated receiver to ever sign with the Buckeyes. He's the first wide receiver to be the top-ranked player in the whole country since Dorial Green Beckham in 2012. Jeremiah Smith is a 6'3", 215-pound receiver who has all the tools necessary to be the next great Ohio State receiver. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about how Jeremiah Smith got to where he is today and why he is going to make a huge impact for the Ohio State Buckeyes going forward. But as always, let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you will love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content and we basically cover everything on this channel. So definitely consider subscribing and also consider joining my Discord server down in the description below. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's look at the most recent scouting report for Jeremiah Smith. First of all, he is getting a first-round NFL draft projection, and he is getting comparisons to Julio Jones, who is one of the greatest NFL wide receivers in recent memory. But this is what Andrew Ivins had to say about Jeremiah Smith. One of the top prospects to come out of South Florida in the modern recruiting era, and the type of wide receiver that will give opposing defenses fits, given the rare combination of his size, speed, and hands. Wasn't always the biggest kid, but looks ready to go after checking into the All-American Bowl at a shade under 6'3", 215 pounds. Can simply overpower defensive backs with his imposing frame, but is way more than just some contested catch specialist, as he has proven to be a dynamic route runner that will attack, leverage, and sink his hips to create separation. Has made a number of highlight reel worthy grabs over the years, including a nifty one-handed snag on ESPN2 as a senior, and tends to come down with whatever enters his orbit, as he uses superb body control and impressive concentration to secure the prize. Does not get enough credit for what he does after the catch, as he can evade tackles and outrun traffic to create big gains. Checks off the box after box for talent evaluators, as he has NFL bloodlines and is also a decorated track athlete, having captured gold medals in both hurdle events as a junior. Extensive body of work, which includes dozens and dozens of in-person evaluations, suggests that he's the safest bet in the 2024 cycle and a future playmaker for a college football playoff contender that can handle a high volume of targets. Will need to keep perfecting his craft, but should see the field early on in his college career and then eventually suit up on Sundays as a day one selection. If this doesn't say enough about the potential that this kid has, then I don't know what will, because Jeremiah Smith is truly incredible. So incredible, in fact, he has already shed his black stripe after just 4 practices for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And if you don't know what that means, well, it just means Jeremiah Smith is a stud. He became the first Buckeyes player this spring to receive the post-practice honor. And in the process, he broke the record for the fastest black stripe removal by a true freshman in spring practice. This tradition was introduced in 2012 when Urban Meyer took over the program, and a player losing his black stripe means that he is officially a Buckeye. This is what Ryan Day had to say about the impact Jeremiah Smith is already making. He's jumped right in, and you guys see the talent. I think that's the thing that has been the most impressive to me so far, is the discipline he has already built in his life, and then the skill of playing the position at such a young age as well. Jeremiah Smith is getting all the spring buzz, and I know it's still way too early, but all the signs are pointing at Jeremiah Smith making an instant impact as a true freshman wide receiver. And what makes this even more crazier is that Ohio State receiving room is already loaded without Jeremiah Smith. Yes, they lose Marvin Harrison Jr., but Emeka Egbuka is expected to step up and be that number 1 guy, and he is 17th all-time in Ohio State receiving yards. You also have Carnell Tate, Jalen Ballard, and Brandon Ennis, who should play much bigger roles in 2024. But what happens if Jeremiah Smith steps up right away and becomes the number 2 or possibly even number 1 target for Will Howard? How dangerous can this Ohio State passing attack be? Having Egbuka back is huge because he was expected to declare for the NFL draft, but he will stay. And now you add true freshman Jeremiah Smith, who should really be a big factor in this passing attack. This is an Ohio State program that has been known for producing NFL talent wide receivers. Not just your normal wide receivers, but I'm talking some of the greats. Just last season, they had a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., who had over 1,000 receiving yards, and he will probably be a top 5 first-round draft pick in this year's upcoming NFL draft. Marvin Harrison Jr. is 4th all-time in receiving yards for Ohio State football, and it is going to be hard to fill his shoes, but give Jeremiah Smith a couple of years, and I could see Jeremiah Smith surpassing Marvin Harrison Jr. in career receiving yards and having even more hype around him than Marvin Harrison Jr. had. Jeremiah Smith was a beast in high school, and he was even more dangerous in important games. During Jeremiah Smith's second season in high school, he had 31 catches for 667 yards, and he also had 7 touchdowns, but more importantly, he had 172 yards and 1 touchdown in the state championship game when it mattered the most. That was really a breakout point for Jeremiah Smith, as he would go on the next season to have 58 catches for over 1,000 yards and 20 touchdown catches in his junior season. His senior season was even a bigger step up as he earned All-American Bowl Player of the Year award. His senior year was highlighted by a 316-yard, 3-touchdown game in just 3 quarters against Bergen Catholic, who went on to win the state championship in New Jersey. Jeremiah Smith helped lead his team to 3 consecutive state championships in his high school career, all while being a gold medalist in track. He is definitely a scary athlete and a generational talent, and I know this is random, but he is actually related to NFL quarterback Geno Smith because they are cousins. But Jeremiah Smith also previously played with Carnell Tate and Brandon Inniss on the South Florida Express 7-on-7 team. So that is another big thing that makes this Ohio State receiving corps scary, because that trio has experience together. Jeremiah Smith is definitely going to get in that mix with that Ohio State passing attack in 2024, and I have no doubt about that. We will see if he starts or not, but he is going to create for many mismatches no matter what role he plays. He can offer that speed in the slot, and he can also win one-on-one balls. We got to remember next season he will only be a freshman, and you don't really ask much out of a true freshman player. So if Jeremiah Smith does not become a day one starter, I don't think that is going to matter too much, and it won't really be a disappointment, but the long-term potential for Jeremiah Smith is scary. And if Jeremiah Smith isn't a first-round NFL draft pick when his college career is over, that's when you can be disappointed. He is going to have to follow in the footsteps of incredible Ohio State receivers like Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Terry McLaurin. And people will be expecting a lot from Jeremiah Smith because he is going to be one of the most hyped up college football players in the country. But like I said, let's not overreact to what happens in year one, and we should definitely give it time with Jeremiah Smith. But I am interested to see how Jeremiah Smith handles all the pressure on his shoulders going forward. I am excited to see if he will live up to his full potential, and I'm not just talking about the numbers he puts up, but can he show up in the big games, and can he play a factor in helping Ohio State beat Michigan? Ryan Day is still yet to win a national championship at Ohio State, but he landed a stud receiver in Jeremiah Smith. And Ohio State probably has the most stacked roster in all of college football heading into next season, and I would not be surprised if Ryan Day finally won a national championship at Ohio State. And Jeremiah Smith could definitely play a big factor in making that happen. And if he doesn't transfer, then Jeremiah Smith will be on that roster for the next couple of seasons, and that is a lot of time on that Ohio State roster for him. Maybe Ohio State wins a natty in 2025, maybe they win a natty in 2026. And who knows, maybe they never win a natty with Ryan Day. We don't know what's going to happen. But Jeremiah Smith has potential to create a lot of buzz around the college football world if he helps lead Ohio State to a national championship. And by the end of his college career, he may just be one of the greatest Ohio State players of all time. Because it has truly been a long time since any Ohio State player was getting this much attention. So I am excited to see just how good Jeremiah Smith will be. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually was a day one starter. But anyways, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you will love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content and we basically cover everything on this channel. So definitely consider subscribing and also consider joining my Discord server down in the description below. But that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.